endo sucks, endo pain sucks. It's okay to feel sad, bummed out, angry, frustrated, while you're traveling and you're dealing with this, because, you should be able to travel and enjoy life and like not have to worry about managing your endo pain. So today I thought I would talk about traveling with endometriosis, because if you're like me and you have a vacation or a trip coming up, you're probably looking at the calendar trying to figure out if your period is going to strike while you're away. And as I mentioned in previous videos, my endo pain is the worst in that 3 to 5 day window when I have my period. So that's why I usually check my calendar to see, like, is my period going to be there? And usually I'm pretty bummed out if I realize that while I'm away enjoying life and enjoying traveling or being away, that my period's going to come. Usually feel pretty bummed out about that. But over the years, I've kind of gathered some resources for myself, little tips and tricks, kind of similar to things that I just generally use to manage pain with endo, but there are some things that I feel that I sort of bring with me when I'm away on vacation to help me manage pain. So I thought I'd share those with you. As I've talked about before, kind of how we think really impacts how we feel, like our mood, and that can have an impact also on our pain. And so just being mindful of your feelings and your emotions around what it's like being a person who's traveling on vacation and dealing with your period. And it's okay to feel sad, bummed out, angry, frustrated, while you're traveling and you're dealing with this, because, you should be able to travel and enjoy life and not have to worry about managing your endo pain. But as we know, endo impacts our lives. It can happen, whenever. It can happen when you're traveling. It happens at home. And so just, finding a way to kind of just honor how you're feeling about it. Let yourself feel sad. I remember we were at Disney World a few years ago before we had kids. I was there with my husband, and I did get my period while we were there. We were only there for 10 days. We had saved up, well, actually a long time, but to be at Disney World without children. But we had saved up. It was our time to go and do that. And I got my period. And so a big chunk of our trip was honestly spent, at least 2 of those days were just spent in our hotel. I remember feeling, when I got my period, we were actually at the Sci-Fi Diner in Hollywood Studios, and I was so excited to be there. It's my husband loves space, and we're at this cafe, and then I'm getting my period, my pain is really ramping up, and I just was just the internal tension of I just want to feel better. I don't want to be in pain. I don't want to have to let endo win and remove me from having this great experience with my husband. If you're into the Enneagram, I'm an Enneagram 7, so this is also experience is so important for me, and having fun, and I just didn't want to be dealing with endo, right? As we all feel, we wish we didn't have to experience the pain and the hardship of endometriosis, but it did happen. And I think once I was able to just accept that I needed to go back to the hotel and I just needed to rest, once I just found the place to accept that, I think a lot of that internal tension I was feeling, that resistance of I don't want to be dealing with this, but I am dealing with this, and it sucks. And honoring those feelings of just how crappy it is, and not trying to make yourself be oh wow, we'll go to just really honoring endo sucks. This is a hard day. I wish I could be there's this longing, this wishing part of me that just wanted to be at the park for the rest of the day, but I just couldn't. And so it can feel kind of cheesy, but really honoring the loss that you experience when endo takes part of your fun away from you, and that you need to be back at your hotel. But what was nice is we went back. We put on some Mickey cartoons in our hotel. We ordered a pizza. I was wearing Elsa socks, finding a way just to kind of really capitalize on the comfort, right? Just really saying I am gonna be in the hotel. I wish I didn't have to deal with this, but I'm gonna just try my best to really comfort myself. If you're a single person and you don't have a partner who's there for you to comfort you like while you're traveling, I've also been there. I was single for a big chunk in my 20s and also at Endo when I was, in high school in a way. And I've also been there when I've been like in a hotel room alone or, traveling alone. I've done solo traveling and like had to manage my period. And so I really feel for you because it's hard to be dealing with that kind of pain and like be alone and like not have somebody comfort you. So like have your team behind you, have your tribe behind you, that you can text or be in contact with, your endo team who's there to comfort and support you. I remember like reaching out to my mom when I was traveling, or even my dad, and just being like, I'm in this hotel and like I'm having so much pain and I can't get the pain under control, and like just reaching out to say like, this is really hard, and being able to have somebody just say, I'm thinking about you, or I'm praying for you, or I hope it goes away, and I'll keep a close eye on my phone. Like those things can really help us feel connected when we're dealing with endo pain and we're like not in our own home, we're like not in our own country. So the first thing is, of course, bring any medication that you use when you have your period, or you have that you use to manage pain at home. For me, as I mentioned in previous videos, using the combination of Tylenol and Advil, like an anti-inflammatory and Tylenol, tends to give me good better pain relief than just taking one of those drugs in isolation. So making sure, again, I'm not a doctor, so make sure you talk to your doctor about which medication is right for you, but tend to bring those things with me when I'm traveling. And I remember sometimes I even use like the timer on my phone to remind me when like my 4 to 6 hour window is up from taking medication, because pain, it's really good if you can stay on top of your pain. And I mean, especially when I'm like out on a vacation, like if I'm like at Disneyland or something and I'm like having fun on all the rides, the last thing I want to do is like, probably wouldn't be having that much fun on a ride if I have my period and I'm feeling pain. But if I'm out and my pain is under control, it's really easy to kind of like let it slip and like just, I don't know. For me, I actually just like, I hate taking pills. I don't like taking pills. But I do find if I can stay on top of it and set an alarm on my phone that reminds me, like, take your next dose, I stay on top of the pain like that, that really tends to like serve me well in the long run. So, and I tend to carry little things with me, like when I'm out, during the day, if I'm, on a tour, like amusement park, like wherever it is, carrying little snacks with me, like granola bars. So I always travel with like a box of granola bars with me, because that really helps my stomach kind of digest, especially anti-inflammatory pills like Advil. So medication, of course, you're going to bring that with you. The second thing that I love to bring with me when I'm traveling is I have like a little mini hot water bottles, like those, I wish I had it, I think it's actually in my car, but like it's those like red kind of rubber hot water bottles. If you go to your dollar store, even check Amazon, you can find little water bottles that kind of look like this. And if you bring those with you, they're a lot smaller than like a big hot water bottle. And I really feel like heat really can sometimes take the edge off of pain. And so if you can carry 2 of those with you, I was like putting like one on my back, one on my stomach. And I've even had luck like being on a plane and having those little hot water bottles with me, and actually asking a flight attendant to say like, look, I sometimes will even say like I have endometriosis or I have really painful periods, and would you be willing to fill up this hot water bottle for me? And I've had lots of success with people on flights being willing to do that. That's a really good little tip. Another thing is there's these little heat packs that you can find also like at Walmart, or if you're in the States, Walgreens, because Walgreens is everywhere, I don't know, where you can find, or Amazon, that you can find these like little kind of adhesive heat packs that stick. I have even had ones that are like kind of like for your whole lower back, like not just a little square, like a whole kind of piece that you can stick on your lower back, and they have like, I don't know what's in them, like little heat pockets in there, and you just open it up, and just by nature of you opening the package, it like activates it, and then that can last for, I don't know, maybe a couple hours, but like probably at least an hour or 2. And I've used those in the past as well to help me manage like pain with the heat approach as well. The next thing is just, you know, really erring on like the comfy clothing side of things when you're traveling. I've talked before about like endometriosis and like clothing, and so I really feel like, I know when you're traveling or you're on vacation, you probably want to feel cute, you want to feel like pretty, you're on vacation, you're taking pictures, but I always tell myself like managing that is really important. And so having some like nice cozy sweats that are maybe also cute but like cozy, and having like really loose fitting, like wearing a bra that's like more loose fitting and like doesn't have like underwire in it, kind of just relieving any tension in your clothing, especially while you're traveling or like on a plane, is like really key. I find that can really help, like especially if we're out on a day trip and I'm just wearing clothing that's like really kind of like not putting any pressure on my pelvic area. Can be really helpful when you're traveling. If you are someone who you do use like those rice bags to manage pain, like me, I use those. I do tend to still bring at least one rice bag with me. I have like a smaller one that my mom made for me. Someone who sews in your life could like make you a smaller one. And I bring those as well because you never know at the hotel you're staying at, it might have a microwave. I've even had luck with like bringing a rice bag down to the front desk, or like having my husband bring it down to the front desk for me and saying, heat this up for my wife. So bringing a rice bag with you can definitely help. Next thing is my essential oils. We've talked about these before, and not that they like, you know, take away all your endo pain by any means, but they can definitely help alleviate the edge sometimes by like rolling this on your pelvic area or lower back. This one is from my friend at the Oil Buzz. Her name's Jaden. And what's in here is wintergreen, copaiba, lemongrass, and marjoram. That's what she put in here to sort of make this little concoction of essential oils. And so this little guy is small. He can fit on a plane. He can fit on a plane, but like he is less than whatever the mils are, 120 mils, I think. So I just keep that with me on my carry-on or with me when I'm out and about when I'm traveling. So that can really help too, especially if like you're on a plane, and that can be a bit like claustrophobic sometimes when you're like, oh man, like I've so been there, been on a plane before when I've had my period and I just feel like nauseous and I'm in pain, and you know, it's a really hard place to be dealing with your endo pain. The next thing is remembering just to take some really deep breaths when you're experiencing intense pain, especially if you're on an airplane. I've definitely been on airplanes before while dealing with really excruciating endo pain, and it can be really scary because it's just like you're in this small confined space and you don't know how long the pain is going to last. You don't know if it's going to get any worse. You're so uncomfortable. And so really finding a way just to remember to breathe, because as we know with pain, we're experiencing intense pain, it can really activate our nervous system, and so our heart rate can increase, and it can really, like, you can really start to feel panicked. And so remembering to kind of take some really deep breaths. Again, I know that taking a deep breath and focusing on breathing is not going to like wipe your endo pain. We all know that, but it can really help take the edge off. So remember to breathe when you're on a plane. Also, even though it can be like that balance of like you're in so much pain and like you don't want to move and you just want to stay cocooned on the plane, I usually prefer sitting like by a window because I can kind of like pull my legs up and like curl up. But at the same time, you might prefer an aisle seat because you might know that like you might feel like it's actually a lot better for you just to be like regularly moving around, because sometimes stretching can kind of also help like relieve tension and can like alleviate pain for some people. So I still try to like prefer to sit by a window, but I do try to get up even if I'm in like a lot of pain, just to try to like stretch my back out or move around a little bit. That can help too. And just the last thing is just remembering the emotional impact of endometriosis is real, and especially when you're traveling and on vacation. So just a quick little recap of the things that you can bring with you when you're traveling and dealing with endo. while you're traveling. Again, not hugely different from the things that I normally use to manage pain, but a little bit different. The first one being, remember to bring your pain medication with you. Put it into travel, size bottles. Make sure if it's a prescription, that you have your prescription with you, because sometimes border people want to see that. So have your pain medication with you, have it accessible. Make sure you have snacks so that helps you digest pain medication, and like granola bars if you're on a plane, that sort of thing. The third thing is have a heat source. So bring a small water bottle, bring 2 if you can find them. Dollar store sometimes has these like mini water bottles. Even bring a small rice bag that you can pack in your not your carry-on, in your actual packed luggage in case your hotel has a microwave. Bring some essential oils if that's been a thing that you've been into or that has been helpful for you. Bring like a small little travel size guy like this one. Remember to breathe. Remember to take care of your emotional health. Remember to honor your feelings, because dealing with endo while you're traveling is a hardship and it sucks. So I hope these little tips are helpful for you. Make sure you like and subscribe to my channel, because I'll have lots more endo videos coming out for you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!